Pour some Henny straight up, I don't give a fuck. Ooh, young man, I'm with it. If you want me said, stop hesitating. I've been so patient, don't keep me waiting. You're so underrated, let's both get faded. This ain't complicated. Tell me. Don't get scared. This is episode 2. I'm going to break down this scene. You've already seen it in episode 1. You can rewatch it if you want to. But this time I'm going to show you how actors and comedians break down scenes. So let's go all the way to the end because that's where you'll find the gold.
This show is called Things Black, and I didn't see no white folks around to try to impress, so I just thought I'd blow it off.
I ain't got nothing to say.
Well, that's about all the time we have for this edition of Things Black. I would like to thank our distinguished guests, and sorry we don't have any more time to discuss this issue further, but we wouldn't want to run late now, would we?
Wait a minute. This was Nightline we'd run late. Hey, notify the affiliates, brothers and sisters. We're running long. We're taking this show over. We're not going out.
Sit down and shut up. I'm Darlene Thomas, and occupying its usual position
we find out that...
is Kirk Albright saying good night.
Okay, so we see basically this scene is about black people being late all the time. So at the end, we find out that nothing is resolved. We find out that this guy, my partner in crime, my partner on this show, is basically a goofball and he has nothing to donate to the conversation. And by the end of the conversation, we find out that Lisa Nicole Carson, yay, my girl, her character is basically just all for show. And we find out that
He's at the Clarence Thomas University and author of the book Let's Blame Ourselves, Shall We?
Also with us, we have Mr. Ali.
My boy Kent, his name is Kent Jackman. Yay. And the other guy, his name is Yusef Lamont, my partner. Yay. Haven't seen these guys in a while, so if they're listening, shout out to these guys. They're basically just shams. That lets me know when I'm crafting this scene that, number one, my character ends with nothing to contribute to the conversation. My partner's character ends with nothing to contribute to the conversation. I sit him down, and this is basically a running gag on these TV shows. See, now these kind of podcasts are normal because we've got YouTube. But back when we did this in the 90s, a show like this would be found on an off station or PBS late night or public access. And so this is where something like this show, this fictitious show that the writers at Apollo came up with, Things Black. Shout out to the writers at Apollo Comedy Hour. Some names that you'll remember. What's my boy's name that wrote at Apollo Comedy Hour? Our lead guy, was it Mark? Wasn't it? Tracy Morgan did not write for Apollo Comedy Hour. Or my girl Vanessa Middleton, who ended up casting me in 30 Years to Life, Tracy Morgan's first film. So shout out to Vanessa Middleton, who had the eye to see Tracy before everyone else. Michael Mayburn wrote on this show. Rodney Black, Yusef Lamont, Tony Woods, Vincent Cook, Charles Walden, Jay Martell, Daryl McNeil, Kyle McNeil, Charlie Schulman.
My nana, Raw, Troop, Jim, Uncle Ronald, Teresa.
But my boy, remember Forrest? He's skinny. We used to see him all the time out. Warren. Warren Hutchinson. And my favorite of all time writer. And I don't even think he's on the credits. I don't even see his name on the credits. Thank you, Forrest. Warren Hutchinson. He's cold, y'all. He's like the coldest writer ever. A major writer on Everybody Hates Chris. Warren Hutcherson. That's why I was spelling it wrong. So he wrote Built to Last, The Freeloaders, Saturday Night Special, The Last Supper, HBO Comedy, Comic Half Hour, I mean, this list is going on and on and on and on and on. So he and Vanessa, shout out to those two. They are definitely great writers. I hope they would collab again and come holler at your girl. Let's do something. You need to notice when you're working with comedy, it's all about the rhythm. Life has rhythm. Even your heart has a rhythm to it. Everything in the world has a rhythm. You can close your eyes right now and listen to the rhythm of the world. And I swear to you, you will hear the world creating its own music. So listen to the rhythm.
Darling, I think that we should use an old news radio station with a teletype machine constantly playing in the background. That's how we should learn to tell time.
Oh, why's it gotta be about a Greenwich time thing, huh? Were any brothers and sisters consulted about that? Involved in the Greenwich process? No. Yet we all have to assume a Greenwich-centric point of view. You know, when we have our own standard of time.
Well, didn't the Europeans...
Now, if you notice, I did a quick little shift of one camera to the next camera. That was a planned joke because we were teasing how, camera newscasters are not always aware of where the camera is. The camera in a newsroom, or not so much when you're working as an actor, but when you're working as a newscaster or in a situation like this, there's a big old red light that lets you know which camera you're working with. But for some reason, the newscasters never get it right on some of these public access shows. So we were kind of taking a poke at that. And as we go on, you'll see a lot of the things that you think are our faux pas, we were really adding to add texture to the scene. So when you're creating a scene, you have the first level, which is just the scene, and then you want to add layers. Our director happened to have been the phenomenal Mark Warren. Mark Warren, you'll know him. He won an Emmy Award for Laugh-In back in the 60s. And he's just been the best director. Well, he passed over, but we were his last project. And you might recognize his name if you look at the credits of projects like Julia, What's Happening, and then What's Happening Now. And he was a really, really kind older gentleman who I used to have dinner with. I was young, 21, 22. After rehearsal, he lived in Los Angeles, but we shot this obviously in New York. If you're not familiar, and it's not obviously, I guess, if you're from somewhere else and don't know what the world famous Apollo Theater is, it's a theater in Harlem where I got my first job. So my first job, I was able to rub the famous Harlem rock, or it's really a piece of wood from a tree that has brought luck to comedians since the Chitlin Circuit, vaudeville.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you at this time one of the finest dancers that you've ever seen. Now, to stand here and make a long, long speech about him would really be keeping you away from a great treat. What? With as many Broadway appearances and nightclubs and theaters throughout the country, I bet you've seen him before. If you haven't, you're in for a great treat right now. Freddie, open the curtains, and let's bring on Bill Bailey.
My good friend. You laugh, buddy. Here's what Bojangles calls tipping down Main Street. Love this one.
I began my career at the Apollo, and Mark Warren was in town from Los Angeles to direct us in this project. I didn't have to, but they used to ask me to. He was coming up on 80 years old, still hustling, still working, still just brilliant. I really wanted to. It was a free dinner. You know, you don't get paid that much your first time out, working. He was a great gentleman, and he taught me so much about comedy, timing, just having confidence in myself and my craft. And he used to tell me I reminded him of Danielle Spencer. If you all are familiar with what's happening and what's happening now, she was a child actress. Now she's a veterinarian. Dr. Danielle Spencer, if anyone is interested, he used to tell me I reminded him of her. And I took that as a compliment. You guys probably think that I was expecting him to tell me I reminded him of Julia. I reminded him of Danielle, and that to me is just as phenomenal. And for those of you who want your kids to get into acting, just know that it doesn't have to be a lifelong choice. Like Danielle, she went to USC. She got a full ride because she was a child star. She got to go to college for free. And in her second year at USC, her show got rebooted into what's happening now. So she dropped out, went back, finished What's Happening Now, and then went back to school once that got canceled. See, she went to Tuskegee University. So go ahead, Danielle. That's where she got her doctorates. She is now Dr. Danielle Spencer, and she's a veterinarian. I just want to throw that in people's ear because acting as a child can do so much for you beyond just expecting yourself to become a star. It helps round out your whole personality. Now, this was a reoccurring sketch that myself and Yusef used to do, and all the other cast members would come on as different people. It's a sketch comedy show, guys. I don't know. That's how I started in sketch. Would come on as different characters. So obviously this week it's about CP time. Now, if only you all could be blessed enough to start your career with a pro, the same age as you, mind you, like Lisa Nicole Carson. I pinch myself because I know I learned so much from that woman that carried over to us moving to Los Angeles. She moved first. She booked Ally McBeal, and it was huge, and she was great on it. And I was just so proud, like my big sister was doing it. And, she really got me through this project because I get stage fright, and a lot of people let that stop them, and that's why I'm talking about it, because there are ways to get out of it. Lisa Nicole slapped the shit out of me the first day of shooting, and that got me through. If I tell you that, I won't be bullshitting you. She was like, we worked too hard. I used to have anxiety attacks. My girlfriends in high school just gave me a paper bag, a brown paper bag, and that did the trick. But Lisa Nicole, we didn't have any paper bags, so let's go with the slapping. And she said, you are not going to fuck this up for us. She didn't say, you're not going to fuck this up for me. Now, I want to talk about character. Because I started on this sketch comedy show early in my career, watch people, that is a major way to craft characters. Imagination is a great way to craft characters. Being a bit of a mimic is a great thing to have in your warehouse of tools when you're an actor, because especially a character actor, which is what I am considered, it helps you gather characters. Now, these two characters, we're in the 90s, remember this, the early 90s, and these two characters that are just the stereotypical epitome of her on the bougie side of the intellectual black woman, and he on the militant side of the too proud, too strong black man, and each of them giving their take on being late and how it affects black people and the people around black people. And is our being late systematic? Is it something that's been taught? Is it something that we've picked up? Is it something that we do to keep or maintain a sense of power in a world that gives us none. A lot of the things I want to bring to your attention is the look of lostness in the two hosts' faces. Now, if you notice Lisa Nicole's character work, she is over pronunciating her T's. That is an intellectual black woman choice that she made. Acting is about choices. I think it's a phenomenal choice. I did a stuffed nose as a choice because, I mean, I had a cold, but I chose the stuffed nose to accentuate it and not try to mask it, because that's how a lot of white women talk. They talk through their nose, like they're not, like they don't breathe when they talk. On that same bougie side, but coming from that glamour girl perspective, you'll notice that the other two gentlemen's characters also dictate the way they are speaking. The note cards was a choice I made. I knew all the words. If you notice, I know all the words. But I chose to use the note cards because they do use the note cards on these public access shows. And I had just watched one to do the research for this. And that's what the lady was doing. Like, I couldn't understand why she just didn't put the note cards in her hand and say what she had to say. But she was like trying to hide them. Like, we couldn't see her like taking, looking to the side of her hip to see. It was like she might as well have written it on her arm. Now, as we continue to go towards the end of the scene, I want you to keep in mind that what we're doing, the reason I went to the end of the scene, is I wanted to know our objective. What is this choo-choo train? Where is it going? And how are we going to get to the end? And to get to the end, you have to know where you're going when you get on the train. Some people just get on the train and decide to let it take them where it will. And good luck with that. Most people get on the train and know where they're getting off. And that's why it's important to go to the end of the scene to know where you're going. Their main thought process for their characters, that was the beginning. Now we're towards the middle where they're each stating their reasons why. Now we're heading off towards the end. See and notice, we work together. That was one great thing about the Apollo Comedy Hour. When you're working with people, you don't always get along, but it sure is fun when you do. In this industry, you know it when you see it. I love going head to head with gifted actors and actresses so that it brings my game up. Everyone wants to be around and help people that are open to being helped and want people to be around. We're so blessed. Oh, hey. Welcome back. And thanks for joining us on The Actor's Journey. I promised that we talked enough, and we did. And the conversation didn't go exactly as I thought it would. But let me let you check it out. You can tell me what you think. Hi, so we're back. This is my son. This is Wonderful Martin. Wonderful, introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, I'm Wonderful Martin. I'm 12 years old and I'm her son.
Okay, so the first way to find out if your kid wants to act is to ask him. Wonderful, do you want to act?
No.
He doesn't want to act. So I'm lucky. I don't have anything to worry about. Second way to find out if your kid wants to act. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Can you read this first paragraph right there for me? Just read it for me out loud.
What was Annabeth's idea? She loaded us into the back of a Vegas taxi as if we actually had money, and told the driver, "Los Angeles, please." The cabbie chewed a cigar and sized us up. "That's 300 miles. For that, you gotta pay up front." Annabeth sat up a little straighter.
Okay. Now, as you see, when he read the paragraph, when he got to the places where he was supposed to talk and be a character, I don't know if you noticed it, but he gave it actual characterization. That will give you a hint that your child has talent. My kid has talent. He just doesn't want to do it. And that's okay. Because there are things that you do like to do, right?
Mm?
Like what?
Video games, I like sports.
So, do you understand that to be a good video gamer, acting is required? Like, I hear you back
like
there
that.
gaming, and you're on level 10, woohooing and giving personality to your different, video game characters or whatever you're doing back there. So, do you acknowledge that knowing how to act and having been the child of an actor has helped your gaming?
Yeah, a bit. Like, just me commentating and stuff like that, not really my gameplay itself.
Like, what do you mean? Of course,
like
not your
when
gameplay.
I'm talking, a bit more like excited and well, like I'm more energetic a bit, and I'm louder, and I know what I'm talking about, kind of most of the time.
Okay, so you enjoy talking when it's talking about something you enjoy doing, which is video games. So that's fun for you. And what about when you're playing baseball? Do you think knowing how to act helps your game?
No.
Not at all. Not even when you're trying to mean mug the other players or
I don't really mean mug
falling
them.
down to act like you might have gotten hurt or fouled or something.
Nah.
What do you see? Could you see how that could help?
Yeah. To
Could
fake
you
your
see?
injury.
Could
you
you
get called out?
Or yeah. Could you see how it could help after the game? Like if you're being interviewed by the sports commentators.
Yeah, so you won't be like mumbling
like you're doing right now. Kind of.
I'm not mumbling.
No, you're not mumbling. You just you don't want to be here. It's kind of obvious.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, you don't want to be that kind of.
Yeah, because I want to be out on the field.
Right, and so you're gonna be nice to the commentators.
Yeah, I want to be nice to them.
Just not to Mom.
I'm being nice.
Oh yeah, you're being nice. Okay.
Well, I'm being nice.
You are being nice. I said you're being nice. Oh, you're here. That's a lot.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're being sarcastic.
Well, of course I am. I'm your mom.
Oh, okay.
So, at the end of the day, we will agree to disagree. My kid's got talent. He just wants to do something else, and that's okay. But the reality is, we live in Los Angeles, and acting is like an extracurricular. So, what do you do as far as acting is concerned?
Oh, what do you mean?
Do you have an agent?
Yeah.
And do you go out on auditions?
Yeah, I go on auditions.
And what do you think about it?
Boring.
What do you mean?
You just sit there, memorize some lines, regurgitate it, and then you're done. But
when you book the part, how do you feel?
Pretty good, because I get some money. Yeah, so that's the best part about it.
Is getting money.
Sometimes the experience, like, it's kind of fun. The people you meet, that's kind of cool. But the money, best part.
The money. What do you do with your money when you get the money?
I don't know. Usually I just give it to you guys, I guess, and I put them in my savings account, I think.
Really? You don't know what you do with your money? You
buy
give
stuff.
it to... Thank you. Don't even try it. What do you buy with your money? Don't try to act like mom and dad are just spending your money.
Well... games, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, games.
Yes.
Consoles,
games. He buys these things himself because for a while you were booking commercials like left and right, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
Yes, you were booking nationals. And those nationals, okay, I must admit, they did get the bills paid because we do get a percentage to help take care of them. But out of every check, we gave him his own percentage. Yeah, you got what you wanted, right? Each and every time. It's his money. And we treated it and let him know it was his money. So, do you miss booking?
I kind of miss the money, but that's about it. It's not that I don't care about booking. I could care less about it, but like not in a bad way. Like.
So do you think you'd like it more if you booked more?
Yeah, probably. Because it shows that I'm good.
Right. So you think that you not booking is a sign that you're not good?
Well, not really. I just don't think they like me. Or I'm not doing good enough.
No. Let me tell you here and now, that's not what it is.
Right.
Whether or not you get a job has nothing to do 9 times out of 10 with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's about what they're looking for, because they want you to be good. Every time you go in, every time they see a new person, they want to look for the best person for the role that they're casting. And it doesn't have anything to do with you. Sometimes it's they're going to cast their friend's kid, like Harry Potter was cast because someone knew the family and was like, oh my gosh, this kid would be perfect for the role.
And action.
That's a dragon egg.
What is it?
That's what that is.
What is that?
Dragon egg.
Uh-huh. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You toss it over to me. But wait, don't you want to know where I got it? Okay, let's start from the beginning. Okay.
That's a dragon egg. That's what that is.
You know, like you've done things because I'm already in the industry and they needed a kid, so we called you in and, you know.
Wait, when?
Well, you were little.
Oh.
Yeah, you were little. When we were gonna do it for remember we were gonna do it for Black Jesus.
Oh.
And
what?
you didn't want to do it because you didn't want to do the curse words, remember?
Oh, I did that?
Mm-hmm. Remember you got offered a role on Black Jesus and you didn't want to say the cuss words?
Oh, that happened. Alright.
Yeah, that happened. You don't remember that? Do we need a second? Dad?
Yeah.
Do you remember when that happened?
Yeah.
Okay, then. I guess it happened.
That
Too later.
you got offered a role on Black Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't want to say the cuss words. I commended you for that. And so did the casting director, Amber. Shout out to Amber Beckman, my girl. Amber B.
I forgot her last name.
Bickman.
Amber Bickman.
Yeah. Yes. Of course you did. You're just going to call me out. You just... Because you think I'm calling you out when I'm not. But you did. You didn't want to curse. And that's okay. That was commendable.
Like 8.
Mm-hmm. You were 8.
Yeah. That was a while ago.
You don't mind cursing now.
I don't even curse now.
But you wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind if I got offered money for it.
So, let's figure this out. What you're saying is, you would act. It just hurts your feelings that you don't book.
It doesn't really hurt my feelings, but like, I don't like not booking. I mean, I don't really mind if I don't book, but like, I'd rather book.
So, do you want to stop trying?
No, keep on doing it. Like, if I get offered an audition, I'll keep on doing it, but
that's my thing.
Quit.
Right. You're not just gonna quit, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not.
No. Why? You're getting auditions, so why not keep
something,
trying?
Something else to do other than sitting on a chair for 10 hours. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, just sitting on a chair doing work, doing homework, and then after that, just move my chair a few inches to play video games.
That's not all you do all day. You just act like we're just the worst parents in the world.
No, I eat.
And we spend quality time.
We watch movies together. I walk my dog. But like, yeah, something else to do.
You play baseball.
Yeah. Well, baseball season's over.
Yeah, that sucks, huh?
Yeah, I wish it was still going on, but next year, in spring.
Right.
It's gonna go back on. That's gonna be exciting.
December, we sign up now. You're really good at baseball. You like it?
Yeah, I'm getting better. I'm getting a lot better.
Well, that's what you have to do with acting.
Right.
And I was just talking about that. Acting is a lot like sports, like baseball and golf. You're not necessarily in baseball competing against the other team. You're competing against yourself. Each time you hit the ball, what are you saying? You're trying to hit it to what?
Over the fence.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's how acting is. Each time you you audition, you're trying to hit it where?
Over the fence.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you're getting better and better with every audition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. So that's how you find out if your kid wants to act. You ask them. So I'd say after asking my kid, he doesn't mind it.
Not that bad.
He just doesn't like losing.
Yeah.
And who does? And that's something that you really have to take into consideration. And I'm glad I talked to my kid. I'm glad that I let him know that win or lose, it's about you getting better at this craft. It's about you having fun when you're doing it.
Yeah, that's fine.
And it's not necessarily about the book, because 9 times out of 10, and let's be honest, only one person can get the job. So you have to look at it like, this may be my only opportunity to professionally have this gig. So you treat it like that. And you know that, like some of the fun things that you've gotten to go on, when you see it on television, at least you can say, I gave my all, I just didn't get it. Versus, oh, I got that audition, but I whatever. That person sucks. You won't hate on the person who got it. You'll look and you'll learn, and the next time you'll do better, right? And you won't give up.
Yeah, no, don't give up.
When you look at it that way, and you make sure that your kids look at it that way, that it's not a failure, it's just an opportunity to do better. Just like your baseball.
Yeah, definitely like baseball. Like pretty much the exact same thing.
Pretty much the exact same thing. And we're not losers over here, are we?
Oh, no, not in this house.
Not in this house. That's right. So thank you for watching.
Yeah, like and subscribe, do all that stuff, notification bell, something like that. Subscribing is free, so just do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. You ain't going to law, Craig.